It shows they fully trust Antonio Brown and they do not fully trust LeVeon Bell. And Skip, if you look at it like this, Antonio Brown has 481 catches over the last 4 years, more than any other receiver during a 4-year span in the it's about to be 98-year history of the National Football League. So that in and of itself, the best ability that an individual could have playing a professional sports is availability. It's more important than jumping high, running fast, and being strong. And the one thing that the Steelers know, that Antonio Brown will show up for them every single Sunday. Now, they missed Martavius Bryant all of last year. They missed part of him the year before. Sammy Coates has been inconsistent. He's also missed time. Eli Rogers has missed time. Marcus Wheaton, the other receiver, has missed 12, 13, 14 games last year. Also, LeVeon Bell has missed time with injuries, but that's really not why they didn't do this deal. The last 2 years, he's missed 5 games because of why, Skip? So.
Yep, drug suspensions.
Drug suspension. Now,
yep.
One time he got caught with the marijuana, blase. So now he was in the program. He said, he missed his phone call. He moved houses. Even if you move to the moon, have your mail forwarded to the moon. Give them no excuse, no reason, because you know what the protocols are. Once you're in the program, you must be on call 24 hours a day. You understand that. So this is why they made this move. I don't have a problem. See, and a lot of people are going to say, well, why would they pay a receiver that kind of money when Julian Edelman and Danny Amendola and all these guys didn't?
Well, maybe not a lot of people say that, but I would.
Because I'm into paying the player, not the position. He's earned this raise. He's earned the right to be the highest paid receiver. And Skip, so let me ask you this. They won the Super Bowl without Rob Gronkowski, who missed 8 games in all the playoffs. Should he not be playing now? Should they go in a different direction without a tight end?
I think they're going to think about it pretty hard because he cannot stay healthy. Go ahead.
This is what I'm thinking. Coach Belichick is going to say, yeah, we probably could. No, get that thought out of my head. He's earned this, Skip. He came on our show, and he said, look, guys, I made some missteps. I apologize to my teammates. And even after he came, later in the week, when he went back to Pittsburgh, he said, look, there's some growing up I need to do. My team need to be able to put their utmost trust and faith in me that I'm always going to do the right thing, always going to say the right thing. I believe it. Le'Veon Bell is going to have to show. I still believe Le'Veon is the most complete back in all of football.
You do.
But he's going to have to show the Steelers that they can count on him, that they can trust him to always do the right thing. And he's going to be available, not just on the football field running and catching the football, but being there and not being absent because of the suspensions.
Okay. I am not surprised Pittsburgh did this, but I was disappointed in the Steelers for committing long-term to Antonio Brown. I believe, and this is easy for me to say because I'm not sitting in that GM's hot seat or any of those front office hot seats or the ownership hot seats, but I believe I would have closed my eyes and plunged and not signed him long-term. And I'm not going to condemn you for this, but I want to point out.
You wouldn't
I would not.
Antonio Brown.
I would not have committed long-term like this. But now let's go back, 6 weeks or let's go back to that flashpoint moment after that playoff win at Kansas City.
Yes.
In which Antonio made his first big blunder, although we've talked about other blunders in which he got penalties for celebration.
Right.
3 times this year that cost his team 15 yards on the kickoff. But he went live on Facebook and just shamed his coach in the background, kind of looking over his head, making fun of him. And it was just such an egregious act. It's breaking an unwritten rule you just can't break. It's violating the sanctity of the locker room.
It is.
I was shocked by it. We did it the next day on the show. You came down even harder than I did on Antonio, and you said he has revealed himself to be just another diva receiver, another Odell, another Dez, whoever else you want to throw into that mix. And I was with you on that. And you got to the point where you were ready to cut bait with Antonio Brown completely. And trust me, I'm not condemning you on this one. I'm not calling you on it because I do love you. I'm just pointing out what happens when an athlete, I'm going about 3 levels deeper here, but that athlete, Antonio Brown, agreed to come on our show in Houston at the Super Bowl, and he sat right there, right?
Yes, he did.
Between the two of you, and he wasn't good on our show. He was great.
Great.
He owned up, he fessed up, he owned it, all of it. And he looked you right in the eye and went head to head, nose to nose with the Hall of Famer Shannon Sharpe on every issue that you have had with him on this show. And it was impressive. And I was impressed. And he showed some remorse I thought he hadn't showed a glimpse of after the first Facebook, because he did a second Facebook from his private jet, it looked like, right?
Well, he was doing Snapchat of getting a haircut, holding up the
media.
I
forgot about that.
Remember he said, well, I had my helmet on, I got to look nice. I can't go out in front of the media looking a mess.
All of which we asked him about, all of which he answered convincingly about.
He did.
Very impressive. But I have learned over years and years of doing this job, this is why you can't get too close to the athletes you comment on, especially on a debate show, because it is such a slippery slope. You're a human being. You want to like him. I already knew him. I like the heck out of him, and I've said this repeatedly on this show. He's a good I was going to say kid. Now he's going to be in his 8th year in this league, but he still feels
about to turn 29.
Yeah, he feels kid-like to me still, because he's got a lot of kid in him in a good way. He likes to have fun, great smile, great hats. We get all that, and I want to like him, but I also want to cherish my seat over here. I wanted to protect my objectivity over on this side of the table, because it's all I got in life, right? It's all you got in the end, because the truth is, you're not a football player anymore. You're in the Hall of Fame forever and ever. That's lasting. It is a done deal forever and ever. Your brother's about to be a made man forever and ever in the National Football League. Hall of Fame. But now you're on a new debate show trying to create a new career for Shannon Sharpe, a second career that's on its way. It could be toward greatness, but this is a decision you have to make. This is a choice you have to make in your career. Your second career is, how close are you going to get to Antonio? You talked to him off camera after the show. I talked to him briefly after a segment, actually, in the break. And you want to like him, right? And you were won back over by that, many.
I also talked to LeVeon Bell for about 5 minutes. I saw him at an event and talked to him for about 5 minutes. My job is not to like or dislike anybody. My job is to critique and analyze their play or their behavior related to the play. And once he came on and explained to me why he did it, and I didn't agree with him, but it was after the fact, he says, you know what, I've made some mistakes. I'm willing to learn from those mistakes and move forward. I promise you and the Steelers, this will not happen again. Now, he's not going to get a chance to fool me again now. He has the slip up. He does something like that's out of character that I think is not team goal oriented. Then I'm going to criticize him again.